we can. Right. So, hello everyone. It is, we've all calmed down after all of the press conferences and all of the hubbub and everything from semi-final two, and we have our 10 qualifiers, I guess. Yeah, we have them, but we've also lost 7 songs as well. So it's been an interesting time for sure. What are your sort of like initial impressions from the whole show?
Play Ya Ya Ding Dong. I'm joking.
Oh my god.
It was a really, really good show. A lot of people said this was the weaker semi, but I feel like on the flip side, this was the more unpredictable semi, so almost the more fun semi to watch. So yeah, enjoyed it.
Definitely.
Rory, give your thoughts. I'm tweeting the link still.
It's okay. I was, I think we all kind of knew that semi-final one was the bloodbath, I guess, out of everything, and semi-final two was far less predictable than we were kind of making it out to be, I guess. So it was just quite nice just to watch the whole semi-final again and just see what people were thinking, really. There were some really good songs. I think there were some fantastic vocal performances from across the board tonight, actually. Some pretty nice interval acts as well, I must say, as well. I was quite impressed, really, by the overall show. So, although I must say I was a little bit over it with the whole still cutting away from the live feed in the UK, at least. And yeah, I mean, it was great. It was fine, but I was just a bit like, okay, come on, we're missing out on quality Nikki tutorials content right here.
Yeah, anything with Nikki tutorials is quality content.
Exactly.
There's someone in the chat, Radoslav, I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name properly, saying hello from Bulgaria, hello from the UK to you, and congratulations on your qualification today.
Congratulations.
Victoria did you all very, very proud.
100%, yes. Also, zdravey, lekanosht as well. Sorry, I just had to throw in a little bit of Bulgarian. I gotta do that.
Rory had to flex his little linguistic muscles.
What can I say? I'm a phantom.
A ticket to the linguistic gun show.
No, it's all good. But yeah, so we might as well just kind of go through our sort of initial impressions from the qualifiers. So we'll go down the list from the sort of running orders, how we did it on Tuesday. So the first one to qualify in the running order was, of course, the opener, San Marino, Sen Hit featuring Flo Rida and Adrenalina. I mean, we knew this was qualifying, but it just still feels like a really proud mum moment of being like, oh my god, it actually happened. And I think you can see in our sort of live stream of the reaction of the qualifier announcement, San Marino now has a qualification streak.
Who would have guessed?
If you told someone that 10 years ago that they would have a qualification streak, I think they would literally laugh in your face. And I love that we can have something like that now.
Yeah. I put a tweet out the other day saying, oh my god, it's just hit me. Like, in so-and-so's day's time, San Marino will have qualified for 2 years in a row.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I can't believe it. I'm absolutely here for it.
Not 2 years, 2 contests. You have to try and remember, 2020 did not happen.
Honestly, I feel like my thoughts on basically everything San Marino were kind of summed up by Jazzy, weren't she? She sort of turned to me about halfway through the performance and says, what universe are we living in? And yeah, truly. But I'm so happy for them. Sen Hit has thrown everything in the kitchen sink at this performance, and I didn't watch the press conference, but I was watching the tweets come through from the press conference from the wonderful Rory, who was covering it. And Flo Rida, like, he seems really into the whole Eurovision experience. And as Eurovision nerds, like, we love that. And
it was great.
Yeah, just somebody who is just entirely embracing this is wonderful. And him and Senate seem to be having such an amazing time together. Like when they qualified and Flo Rida was just like, I'm going to take a selfie with Senate right now.
It was great. I loved it.
Lovely.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, literally, like Flo Rida literally said, because in the press conference there was a question about whether or not Flo Rida would take part in the American Song Contest. And he said that he would totally be down to represent the state. And someone asked him if Senate would actually like to feature on his track, and he was like, I'd love to work with her again. So I mean, can we manifest that? Can we please? Prayer circle, guys, prayer circle. I love it.
Planting some seeds. Are we say oveo?
Zelene Senki, yeah. I love it though, and I'm just really happy for San Marino. It's what they deserve, you know. But alas. Anyway, the next song to have qualified was Greece. Stefania. I was going to say Supergirl, but it's not Supergirl.
Rory's just bitter about Supergirl not making it to the stage.
It should have made it to the stage. It would have done way better than Last Dance, but you know, we can only hope. No, Last Dance managed to qualify. I mean, I don't know about you guys. It looked really professional on stage this time. They knew where they were going. They hit their cues. She sounded great. It did sound a little bit raspy towards the end, I guess, but you know, I think she gave a flawless vocal performance otherwise. So I'm really quite happy that this made it through. Not really a surprise though.
No, I think we all thought this would make it through. I feel like those last 4 qualifiers that were announced, it was quite obvious they were making it through. San Marino, Switzerland, Greece, Finland. It was like they were quite obvious, and I don't know if it made it less exciting in a way, but
there was always the possibility for a shock. But yes, continue with your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm very happy that Stefania made it through though. Last Dance is an amazing song. It is still my winner as a song. I'm still not 100% sold on the staging, but
yeah,
it's interesting.
I'm also not completely convinced on the staging. I still feel like it's a bit too creepy for a song that's supposed to be quite fun and upbeat. But I mean, they went with the idea, they committed to it, and they have really sort of polished it and tidied it up, because I know there were a lot of technical issues with it during rehearsals, and even in the jury show yesterday, apparently there were some issues with it then. And so their sort of commitment to it and making it work however they best can is really impressive. And it's still great. It's still very clever as an idea. And I mean, they said they were going to be promising us something that we'd never seen before on the Eurovision stage, and they delivered. They really did deliver, and Stefania gave a fantastic performance. So I'm really unsurprised. Yeah, I can see this doing pretty well.
I think so. I think the way that it comes across on stage, you know, she looks incredibly professional, and I think as well, it's just for me, the whole green screen, like what's actually shown on the green screen, because to me, it just looks like something that a Stan Twitter account would have just edited together about, like, for example, there's currently been a video of Uku Subista doing the rounds of basically like a Stan Twitter has just made a video about Uku Subista, and like the transitions where it like zooms in and then like and then the next thing. It just feels like that. And it's like, why are you trying to indoctrinate the TikTok generation? We do not need this. Please leave Stan Twitter with the millennials where it belongs.
Rory, are you realizing that growing up is getting old?
I realized that a long time ago. Don't worry.
And also, Rory, you're literally the only one on this podcast team that is a Gen Z.
Wait, what?
Like, Jazzy and I are millennials. You're a Gen Zer.
What year were you born?
95.
And Jazzy, what year were you born?
95, but I was born at the end.
We fucking
Rory-
blown Rory's mind.
Rory thought I was born in '96, didn't he?
Yes. Oh my god.
Like, I know I'm the oldest one out of all of us, but I'm not that old.
No, I know. I figured that, but I figured that there'd be like at least like a year. But
Rory, did you think I was 24 now?
yes,
I'm 25. I'm nearly 20. I'm like 26 in a couple of months.
everything is just falling apart in my mind tonight, guys. Like, I am not into this. Radislav, you were born in 99. I was born in 99 as well. So, you know, it's all good.
You young whippersnappers. I bet you don't even have chronic back pain yet.
Give me till the end of this stream. I'll know what you mean. Oh, God. Anyway, we'll move on to the next one. And the next country to sort of qualify in the running order block was Moldova with Natalia Gordienko and Sugar. Now, you guys in the stream, it came across as such a shock to you guys, whereas for me, I think it did not come across as a surprise at all. So, do you guys want to start this off?
I don't want to be mean because I feel like enough people on Twitter have been mean to her tonight, but that performance just wasn't the best, and neither was her jury performance. And I just feel there was other performances that maybe should have qualified over it. But I'm not going to go too harsh on her because I've seen a lot of people online being really mean to her, and she doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, I didn't see the jury show. I took a night off.
Probably for the best.
So this is the first time I've seen Sugar in sort of a week or so. And it wasn't bad. Like, her vocals were generally okay. It was a fairly engaging performance. Some of it was a bit weird, like the sort of random moaning throughout it was very unnerving. I'm not gonna lie.
You should have heard the jury semi-final. It was a lot worse.
I'm not sure. I want to know. And yeah, I just think there were performances that were stronger. And I know we've mentioned before that there's sort of this trifecta of disaster bops in this semi-final of Poland, Moldova, and Denmark. And out of all three of those, I would not have picked Moldova as the qualifier. And I can sort of see why it did, but it certainly was the biggest surprise to me out of everything that qualified.
Like, I feel based on the studio versions, I would probably have picked Moldova. Based on the live performance, I'd have picked Denmark.
Yes.
But I guess first impressions was that it's the first impression we had that Moldova was the better song. So yeah.
It's just
also, I just remember watching the BBC commentary, and Scott Mills was like, the music video to this song was crazy. There were dancing ice creams. And I'm like, if Scott Mills, if somebody tunes into the video to watch these crazy dancing ice creams and then ends with the scene of her eating a guy's face, you're going to vote for her. Scott Mills, what the...
Scott Mills knew exactly what he was doing.
Like, if they went back after that performance, like during one of the breaks and watched that music video, they're going to vote for her.
Are they? I think they'd be too traumatized to pick up the phone.
This is UK locals we're talking about.
Don't trust them, honestly. You don't know what the UK locals can be like. Myself, I really personally enjoyed the vote. Like, it's kind of weird because going into rehearsals, I did not like Sugar at all. And like, if you listen back to some of our podcast episodes, you'll know that I was just not a fan of this. I thought it was too sort of packaged prop kind of thing. You know, like it was very much like a processed, manufactured pop song. And then, you know, once we got to the stage in Rotterdam, it actually felt like just a smidgen, a bit more authentic than in the music video. And I actually really liked that because it was a little bit more pared back. It was more focusing on Natalia, and it wasn't focusing on this like, oh, I'm so sweet, like thing. It's not like, it's not playing up to the camera, if you know what I mean. And I just really like that, and I think her vocal performance has been fantastic in rehearsals. And I will say she did take a little bit of time to get to the high note, but she got there. So I'm hoping maybe potentially now that Moldova is in the final, it might kind of be a bit more up. Although I do think partially, I'm not trying to speculate here or generate any conspiracy theories, but I do think at least a part of Moldova's success tonight is at least thanks to the Kirkorov effect. But that's a can of worms that I think we should open on another episode of our podcast. So
I feel like we could do a whole episode based on Kicker-Off, to be fair.
That's our off season.
Yeah.
yeah, just episode after episode of like, what's Kirkorov done now? Oh god. I'm just checking to see what the stream. Okay, the stream isn't saying anything, but we have 4 people watching, so hello.
Hello.
Yes. So the next country to qualify is Iceland, Daði Gagnamagnith, and 10 years. We've seen this rehearsal before, at least in our sense, so there wasn't anything new, and we kind of were expecting what was going to happen. They did really well, and I'm just really glad that they were able to cut to Daði Gagnamagnith in the hotel room, and just seeing them having a great time. The fact that they literally had Johan and I want to say Stefan on FaceTime with a little blow up like pillow dolls of themselves. I love that. It just felt so wholesome.
Like, honestly, that entire group are just massive nerds, and that's one of the reasons I love them so much. It is a group of nerds getting together to make music, and I feel an affinity with them in a way, I think. I'm so unsurprised that this has qualified. It's got such sort of universal appeal. It's still got a sort of uniqueness to it and a quirkiness to it that will stand out. And I don't think that them not being able to perform has affected their chances in any way, either going up or down. I think the song is strong enough. I think their performance in that rehearsal was strong enough to stand on its own merit. And I got a little bit emotional when the broadcast was sort of playing the cheers of the audience over the top of the recorded rehearsal. I just thought that was so lovely. And yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I won't lie, I have never been the biggest fan of this song, but I love their togetherness and them as a unit, and that I do respect.
Oh, we've got some news on the running order.
Oh, do we?
Cyprus will open and San Marino will close.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
That is nothing like we predicted.
No,
Nothing.
I didn't guess either of those.
No.
I'm now slightly disappointed because I had this amazing image of Shum closing the show.
Yeah, we said Ukraine or Germany.
Really? Okay. I had imagined that Ukraine would have done the one, but given how they would have put Denmark at the end of semi-final 2, you could imagine that they could have even put Germany at the end of semi-2, at the end of the second half of the final.
Well, it didn't work out for Denmark, but I feel we'll talk about Denmark later.
Well, that's it. True, isn't it?
Right.
So yes, we might as well quickly move on because we are running out of time, I guess, until the full thing comes out. Hurricane, Serbia, Loco Loco, next one to qualify. I am not shocked at all. They gave a fantastic performance. They knew what they needed to do. They absolutely slayed. And hey, possibly top 10 result. I would not be averse to it.
We just had a comment from Radoslav saying about the UK being a perfect opener of the show.
That's true.
We thought this until they added the pyro, but then obviously the pyro is probably just too dangerous to have it as an opener.
Not to mention as well that the little doot doot boys could catch fire, but
Yeah.
Honestly, I had Serbia down as the show opener. I really thought that would have been such a fantastic song to sort of get the night started with. And yeah, I'm very surprised that Cyprus is chosen as the opener.
interesting.
But then again, I guess there was a lot of, I think putting Ireland and Cyprus together in the semi meant that there were two very prop heavy stagings. So I think they might want to get a staging that is very prop heavy out of the way, because it means they can get that set up sort of not like right before the show starts, but sort of very quick.
Kind of tells me that Blast won't go second as well.
May I
Blast is Big
interrupt?
Moon.
We have the first half running order.
Oh,
Albania is given number 2.
Yeah, Cyprus,
Oh, God.
Albania, Israel, Belgium, Russia, Malta, Portugal, Serbia, UK, Greece,
Oh, God.
Switzerland, Iceland, Spain.
Wow. That's unexpected.
So,
Oh, and then we've got more. Moldova, Germany, Finland, Bulgaria, Lithuania, Ukraine, France, Azerbaijan.
what you could not find a more differing contrast going from Shum to Voila.
What the fuck?
oh my
That
God.
could-
like
that
you're
could
going
go.
there's such a contrast here as well. You're going from Germany to Finland to Bulgaria.
They're doing the growing up and getting old duo again.
I mean, literally, because literally, let's be honest as well, the route where on fire was all about getting old and staying in your prime and stuff, and then growing up is getting old going before it. It's like growing up is getting old, but getting old is like fine.
There's
And
now a
then-
race going on with my phone versus like them uploading the rest of the running order.
Yeah, there's 6 to go still.
6
So-
to go, and we know the Netherlands.
Yeah, so Netherlands is going in 23rd position.
So who's going to go between Azerbaijan and the Netherlands?
I don't even remember who's where at this point,
Yeah.
honestly.
I could see it being Italy, but then that might be a bit too close to Finland.
Do you think potentially it could be Tix?
Oh, it could be. Oh
'Cause then
God,
Tix-
that would be
Tix
proper
Fendi.
EBU
Tix
bullshittery.
Hashtag Tix Fendi, guys. This is interesting. Come
It
on,
is
come on, live
interesting.
blog. We need to know what this is.
That kind of tells me that if they put in Finland and Bulgaria together again, that they probably both did quite well in the semi-final, because that happened with Ireland and Cyprus in 2018.
Oh,
and
it's Norway.
It
And
is
then
Norway.
the Netherlands, Italy, Sweden, San Marino.
This is
Isn't that past Tusa's bedtime?
This is a mental running order, guys.
There's
I
some curveballs in here.
I'm shocked that Tix is so late. And I thought he'd have been really early in the second half. He may have done a lot better than we thought he did.
And like they are very possibly playing into the Tix Fendi thing.
Possibly. I mean, literally, Azerbaijan, then Norway.
Out of everybody in maybe that whole final, I didn't expect Tix to get one of those golden 5 slots, and he has.
I'm a bit confused with that now, honestly.
I think that's telling us that Tix did a lot better in that semi-final than we think he did.
Yeah. Right, okay.
Interesting.
Let's
Let's go back to the qualifiers,
let's
and
go
then
back to
we'll
the-
set the running order
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best. So, okay, so we've talked about Serbia, and that's fine. Next up, Albania, Angela Peristeri, Karma. Pretty good performance, I'm not going to lie. I was really she was solid in all of her vocal performances in the rehearsals, and, she hit her marks. I really liked the playing with the 3D lighting almost. It just looked really, really solid on stage, and, it didn't look as if she was being dwarfed at all. It looked like she was confident on the stage and actually really just working to what was going on around her, and that's why I really loved it. So yeah,
I didn't have any doubts about this qualifying. Very happy it has. Angela gave us such a fantastic performance, and every single rehearsal show, previous show we've seen her do, every single note has been perfect. And she's so powerful, and her vocal technique is incredible. And I like what I've said previously to this is that what's her name? Yanida Malici qualified from a stronger semi with a possibly slightly more difficult to engage with song. This is a slightly weaker semi than that was, and the song is probably stronger and more immediate for people to understand. So I really saw this qualifying reasonably easily, but now it's got the number 2 slot in the final. That's interesting. That's not what I would have expected from it.
It's kind of sad as well because this is the second contest in a row in Albania, second in the final.
Has been put in second place, yeah.
Definitely.
Just imagine it's going to be like Montenegro in first place usually, because usually Montenegro comes first in every fucking semi-final and then never wins it. So, but yeah, it was a very strong song. I definitely think, you know, Angela gave a fantastic performance, although it definitely wasn't like within top 5 material. I would say it would have been like 6 to 8. But we won't really know properly until Saturday once the rehearsals are fully finished and the final results are in, and we can just relax, I think, at that point. So next up, Portugal, the Black Mamba, Love Is On My Side. Can I just say I called this? Because I love this song. I loved it from the moment it was picked in Festival de Canção, and I think it's entirely being slept on, essentially. So, yeah. I mean, I think he gave a fantastic vocal performance as well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the older generation are going to respond to this.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea at all, really, but I'm not shocked it qualified. I feel like we need to just kind of mention, like, pre-show, I said something about this song which caused Rory to absolutely burn me to the ground, and it was hilarious.
Can you remember what it was? Because I can't remember what it was.
You said at least Moldova is a better song than Denmark.
Am I wrong?
And then we came up with a saying, Eurovision giveth, Eurovision taketh away.
Blessed be the name of Eurovision.
Blessed be the fruit. Anyway, no copyright.
I've said previously that I have my own personal issues with this song and the sort of general culture of men taking the stories of sex workers who are regularly denied the ability to tell their own stories. However, they did give a damn good performance. And honestly, I don't expect Europe to be involved in sex worker politics the way that I am, because I do this as my literal job. So, yeah, I can absolutely understand why this qualified. Pedro's voice is really quite special. It's unique. I really liked how he played with the melody and the harmonies during the performance. I think he was very, very clever with how he did that. Mm-hmm. And it really worked. And his sort of musicality is so obvious. And I wrote this song off. And that was the bad idea of me to do that sort of in the pre-season, because they've come in rehearsals and delivered something that's really, really beautiful.
And with their first time in English.
That's true as well. And in their press conference, they said themselves, in their interview with us as well, they said, you know, they're happy to sort of be the change to sort of break the mold in Portugal after singing in Portuguese for 55 years, you know, like it's mental. But yeah, so we'll move on quickly on to the next one, and that is Bulgaria. Victoria, Growing Up Is Getting Old. Phenomenal performance. You know, she hit every note, and you know, you could tell she was getting really emotional by the end of it, and the whole, like, just the constant sort of heat of it all, and like, you know, you could just feel the emotion just bursting out of her, and I absolutely love that. Still not my favorite song, but I really do appreciate it.
Honestly, like this if you cry every time, because I cry every time. I think even because I was running the Twitter account while the live show was going on tonight, and I did a little thing before each of the performances, and for Victoria I was just like, fuck this, I'm gonna cry now. I knew it was gonna happen, and I cried, and it just hits me in the right spot, or the wrong spot, but no, I think it is the right spot. It's it's very beautiful, and it's captivating, and I am so happy that the rest of Europe fell in love with it the way that I've done.
Yeah, I think this is going to do very well on Saturday night. I feel like it's going to touch a lot of people in Europe, and I feel like it'll resonate as well. So
17th in the running order after Finland and before Lithuania, so it's going to stand out as well. Yes, my phone still has the tiniest inkling of charge, and I'm going to use it to find that out.
Don't worry, I have the running order up on my laptop now, so it's all okay. We have it. So, but yeah, it's still a phenomenal performance from Bulgaria, and I'm hoping that after this they're not going to withdraw again, because the problem with Bulgaria is that they always send really good songs, but then just don't have enough money to fund another participation. So, fingers crossed they manage to get enough to go again next year, hopefully, if they find a sponsor. We'll see. So we'll move on to the next one, and the next one is Finland Blind Channel. I know this is one of Jazzy's favorites. Personally, it's not one of mine. I think they still gave a fantastic performance, though. It's just not my genre, but I really appreciate what they've done. It fits in with that kind of style and that genre, and they seem like really lovely guys as well. They're not like these sorts of people that are like, oh my god, let's get drunk every night, that kind of thing. So it's a really wholesome...
yeah, ding dong. It's all I think you have to say. Like,
yeah, ding dong.
It's like they're satirical, but it's more in a comedy kind of way. A bit like Yendrik, but the rock version.
Yeah, I see that, but in a funny way,
a cool
I guess.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very unsurprised this qualified. It's completely different to anything else we've had in the semi-finals this year. I think it's great, and they gave a great performance live, and
clearly locals liked it, because it's
doing...
rising the betting odds. It's not, I was 7th,
and it's doing really well in the charts.
So is Love Is On My Side, though, by Portugal. So these are the two songs I feel have been really elevated tonight by their live performances and locals seeing them. Not sure how much that will resonate in the final, obviously, because they have Italy to contend with as well. But maybe they could actually come top 10 after all.
I do think, though, that, you know, Måneskin and Blind Channel, like, they are the two rock songs, but they're different styles of rock. So,
absolutely,
you know, I think they complement each other really well. And they said in their press conference as well that they said that hopefully with their participation and Måneskin's participation will inspire a generation of, you know, young heavy metal bands to actually start taking Eurovision seriously as a potential gig. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more.
Because obviously they're doing well in the charts. They're both looking like potential top 5s in the televote. So on Saturday night. And I wouldn't be shocked if that did happen.
I wouldn't rule it out, say the least, because it's completely different to what we've seen so far. Yeah, and then the final one to qualify, I mean, Switzerland, John's Tears. I was going to say Répondez-moi, again, not last year's song, but no, To l'univers. I am not surprised at all. The rapturous applause he was getting throughout the performance as well as afterwards just cemented it. I think we knew it was happening, and John is just a lovely boy himself, and I'm just so proud of him.
He seems so humble. He seems like he just seems like a normal boy, and I love that.
Great.
Also, I can't deal with the fact, like, he's not younger than Rory, but he's younger than me and Jazzy are. And I can't quite deal with that fact, to be quite honest, because he seems so grounded, I think. Yeah. And he's got such a maturity about him as an artist, I think. And I think you can really see it in this performance. And also just his vocals were stunning tonight. The one really annoying thing is that it's kind of a bit stormy here right now. And it was kind of going a bit weird during the performance, so it kept sort of cutting a little bit.
It did the same thing with us as well. Like our signal kept cutting out.
Yeah, it didn't like Jean's performance at all.
No.
Like
maybe that was this was the thing that caused the car crash in the music video.
Maybe
he knew that he knew he was going to storm the vote, so it just legit. Okay. Sorry, that was an unintended pun.
You're very good like this.
We don't talk about Victor Crone in this household, okay?
I feel like when there's qualifiers, there's non-qualifiers.
There's non-qualifiers, so we might as well just go very quickly through them. You know, Ukusubiste, we kind of knew that wasn't going to qualify, but he gave a good vocal performance.
Definitely the best we've seen from him.
And then we also had Benny Cristo, Oh My God.
I kind of knew this was coming. I like the song, but I knew this was coming.
I felt so bad for him.
I felt so bad for him because he literally forgot his lyrics in the bridge. And out of all of the performances to mess up, this is not the one that you're supposed to do. I mean, I hope, though, that it wasn't like he didn't come last or anything, which I highly doubt he would, but I hope he didn't come in the lower half of the non-qualifiers because he doesn't deserve that.
Absolutely.
I mean, until I'm proven wrong, I'm convinced Estonia with the flow rider effect and everything. I'm convinced Estonia came last.
Then next, Austria, Amen. Fantastic performance from Vincent Bueno. I think, he did Austria proud with that. I was fully convinced that Austria was going to qualify at one point. And then we saw some of the other performances, and then again, they get put back into question again. But I would highly, be proud of that performance for sure.
I think it's absolutely worthy of a spot in the final. It's just that there were more than 10 songs that were worthy of a spot in the final in this semi, as was the same on Tuesday. So,
I'd be very shocked if it doesn't turn out that the juries had him in by quite a lot as well, because there's nothing they could have marked him down on.
I think it must have been at least like an 11th place or a 12th placer because it was so well received as well. Like you could hear
there's two that were quite well received on Twitter and on socials tonight, and we'll get on to the other one in a minute.
Yeah, for sure. Then we had Poland, Rafał, The Ride.
It's the best performance I've seen him give, and we sort of knew this wasn't going to happen. I still have a very guilty pleasure spot for this, but I wouldn't have said that this was in the top 10 songs of the semi.
He seems like the nicest guy, but it's just, it was all a bit cringe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's the bit where he grabs the camera like a selfie. And I remember when I was live tweeting the first rehearsals from that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to describe what the camera angles are showing. And like, he grabs the camera and turns it around him like a selfie. And the number of cringe reacts I got to that post, and it didn't get any better every time he did it. I think that possibly killed the performance.
I think as well, another thing to say was probably what I'm calling the Jessica Mauboy effect, whereby he wasn't really singing, but he was trying to just like hype the crowd. And, you know, this is a song contest. This is a singing competition. You're supposed to sing, not say, come on, let's go, whoa. Like, come on. But, alas, this is just what it is. And then we had Georgia again.
We saw
kinda
that
saw this
coming.
coming.
Unsurprised. I think they were kind of hurt by which bit they had at the recap, because the bit where he goes up the octave and he gets that really powerful sort of rock voice going on is beautiful. He sings that incredibly, and it's a really powerful moment. And I think having something that was slower and more toned down in the recap probably didn't help. And I think if they'd shown the bit that was probably the most captivating bit of the song, I don't think it would have gotten it as a qualifier, but I do worry it might have hurt it a little bit.
Yeah. I do think it was a very strong performance, though. You know, like, it was as good as we were going to get from Georgia, and Tourniquet was just having a good time, and I think he knew it himself, so he was just having fun with it. And that's
He was just drinking his wine.
He was literally just there, like, let's just vibe, let's just have a good time. And then the next one that didn't qualify, Latvia. Now, I had been saying in rehearsals, she was always off key in the first chorus, up to the first chorus, and she did it again tonight, and I don't understand why. Like, she sounded fine, and then she would go off on one and then be like, I don't know, like 2 tones off key, and I'm like, you know, you're supposed to be a professional singer, maybe, but like, I don't know, she pulled it back in the end, but you could even tell that, like, singing, doing the rehearsals and everything, it was causing so much damage on her voice, to the point where you can literally hear the raspiness affecting her voice in the last sort of scream, I guess you could say. I'm just really sad that this didn't qualify, though. I was always hoping that potentially something would have happened with it, but
like, from the perspective of someone who has not been a professional singer but has been paid to sing at things in the past, sometimes the adrenaline can just get the better of you, and it can make you lose control over what your voice does and where it goes. And I think she possibly just pushed it too hard. And it's awful, because she has one of the most unique vocals in this entire contest. And again, when her technique is on point, it's really good. Like, the way she hits those higher notes in chest voice is fucking hard. And I envy the way she does that. So, and I was talking with Lewis, like, the two of us were talking with my partner, who is also a big Latvia fan. And he was saying that seeing her perform in the Adriatic pre-party, where it was basically her backstage in a random cupboard with the 3 backing singers just going for it, is almost the best vocal performance of hers that we've seen this entire season. And it's not, like I say, it's not like she can't do it. It is just the wrong moment for her. And it's horrible, because I think that the song is very interesting. I think her voice is interesting. And I think ideally I would have loved to have seen it in the final.
But I understand why it's not in the final.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. But hopefully she can come back again. She had said she's willing to come back again now, so we probably won't see her again for another 20 years or so as she tries to get back. But I do think, you know, she deserves her spot in the final, and hopefully she'll come back with a song that's not as vocally challenging. But, yeah. And then the final non-qualifier is Denmark, Pure Flamme, Uors Pohinen. Yeah, I mean, I personally did not have this as a qualifier, so I'm not really that struggling too much.
I didn't until the jury show, and then today, when the jury show and tonight, I just found that in a second half that's quite dark, this was just quite uplifting at the end, and it worked in its position in the running order. Seeing this feedback on Twitter, I'm suspecting this may have been a televote qualifier. But the juries, have probably decimated this, and
Probably.
as much as I like it, probably rightfully so.
I can't believe how much this song has grown on me all season. And I'm not super shocked they didn't qualify. I certainly could have seen them in the final, and I wouldn't have been unhappy to see them in the final. I think they were just very charismatic, fun, joyful performers with a song that is it's pure joy. And I absolutely see why people have taken to this. I've absolutely taken to this, particularly over the rehearsal period.
Yeah.
And I came out of I listened to the DMGP songs, and I came out of DMGP basically hating everything. And honestly, this has done a massive 180 on me, and I'm sad they didn't qualify. I don't think this is a massive shock that they didn't, and I'm going to be streaming this on Spotify.
I was going to say
Doing it
something
for clear
else,
skin.
but completely forgotten what I was going to say. And I think it was quite funny as well.
Oh no!
Like,
Keep it in your mind. See if you can find it again, and then just say it in the most random time. So just before we kind of like wrap things up, we'll have another quick look at the grand final running order, because now that we have it and we've gone through everyone, I think it's only fair that we actually give it some fair weighting. So yes, so opening is Elena Sagreanu, followed by Albania, then Israel, Belgium, and Russia. Now, it's kind of a weird mix, those first 5 songs, I think. It's very, like, up-tempo banger, then ballad, up-tempo banger, then ballad, up-tempo weird. So, I don't know. What do you think?
It's not what I would have done. I can see why they've done it. Honestly, I'm just kind of upset that we're not going to get the Shum as this year's Lavender moment in the green room, because I'd sort of just bought into that, and
but you can
now I'm sad.
You can totally get why they've put San Marino last, though.
Yeah.
Like, they
the
want
Flow Rider
the
effect.
Like, I think before we went on, we said that one of the things that they could do is, because of the rises of the betting odds with Go Away and Blind Channel, that they just gave them one of those to the closing spot, but they've given neither of them it, and that's just quite a shock.
That is quite interesting, to be fair. I think it's easily one of the most interesting ones that we've gone for.
Like,
it's a very... Sorry, carry on.
Because usually if you rise so high in the betting odds, you close the show, like, you come towards closing the show, and that's not happened for Blind Channel or Go Away. And usually it would have done.
I just feel like San Marino has big opener energy and not very big closer energy. And yes, I know it couldn't be the opener because it drew second half, but still, I'm not sad it's there, but I just really wouldn't have done that myself if I had complete control over what this running order would be.
Yeah. I think though, when we look at the sort of golden spots that have been taken here, and like for context, golden spots usually go between 17th and sort of 22nd place. We have a lot of the big fan favorites here. We have Bulgaria, Lithuania, Ukraine, France, and I guess you could say Azerbaijan and Norway, but Azerbaijan and Norway aren't really as hyped, I guess, as the previous
I feel like our initial reaction when we saw the running order was, why has Tix got one of the golden spots?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what the semi breakdown is like, actually, with that.
Because he's done very well in the charts, hasn't he, as well? I wouldn't be too shocked if Tix came second in the televote in that semi after Go Away. And that I don't, even as a fan of the song, that is a shock. if that has happened, but like looking at the charts, it's looking likely that is what has happened. And I feel like Tix and Goe were two people that we didn't expect to qualify pre-semi one, let alone do very well in the televote in that semi.
Completely shifting.
Like,
but I guess, yeah. But I guess
you can see why people would like. You look at their performances, though. You look at Tix and you look at Goe, and you can totally see why.
Yeah,
why the public have come for this, and
I guess
they do very well on Saturday, and well done to them, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's just the unpredictability of the whole semi-final. Then like we had no idea who was qualifying, who wasn't qualifying. So it's.
I don't think we had Norway as a qualifier, let alone doing very well in that semi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm really excited to see again on Saturday? Tix's giant cat in his postcard.
Oh,
there's that photo of him cuddling his cat, and his cat looks so fat, and I love it. He's got a proper large boy.
He obeyed. Honestly, he has good taste. No, I think
they've got the big break between Blas and Natalia, which kind of tells me that Blas's moon is a problem.
Well, it's 6 meters wide. So it's quite a large moon. It's roughly, if I was to take a stab at it, I would probably say that it would be my entire living room, like the width of my entire.
To compensate for something?
Ask his husband.
That was a joke.
Sure, Jan. No. No, I think it's going to be very interesting. But yeah, they usually go between like either 13th and 14th or 12th and 13th. So perhaps instead they might be doing it from like John's Tears and then preparing the moon during Gagna Magna.
That could make sense because John's staging pretty big to get on and off as well.
Yeah. And plus as well, you also have to like consider the fact that they have to dangle it down, like dangle it from the top of the stage. So it could be a massive technical nightmare.
John doesn't have anything below him, like that you could see thingy, so they can start like doing stuff while John's still on stage.
Very true. I'd be very interested to see. I'm watching the jury final tomorrow. I'll be live tweeting the jury final, so I'll see how it goes and tell you if there's any sort of dramatic things. But I'm looking forward.
Who would have thought that the one country that was going to cause all the staging problems when we heard all the songs was going to be Spain?
Spain and Ireland.
Ireland, yeah. I mean, Ireland was rightfully cold as a result of that staging, I guess, perhaps. But, we're
not still sad.
By the way, Spanish fans, we're not saying the moon is bad. We're just saying it could cause some delays.
It's cumbersome, I think, to say the least.
Also, can I just say that the UK is fucking dead? So it's between Serbia and Greece.
2 up-tempo female bangers and then a male banger in between it.
Especially coming after Serbia, that's going to be rough.
I do wonder if they have a TG Ouija break in between.
They've got to get the Doot Doot boys on. They've got to get the Doot Doot boys on and off.
Always get those Doot Doot boys
up and set up Stefania's green screen.
Oh, that's true.
It could be possible that they could put a thing there, but
the break then.
But do also, I'm not causing a premonition or anything, but I'm just saying that the last time that the UK performed in 9th position was 2018, and we all know what happened in 2018.
What, we came 24th with some sympathy televotes.
Well, I was going to say more of a stage invasion, but go off. I doubt that will probably happen this time.
If someone tries to invade James's stage, they're probably going to get set on fire. So,
I mean, hey, light up the embers. Play the Doot Doot, get set on fire. You can't say no to that. Oh no, I do think that it's overall. I think it's a fairly strong running order. I'm gonna have to watch a little final recap of it, to see how the flow of the songs will go. But for the most part, it looks like a fairly solid one with just some really interesting surprises in there. Yeah, fantastic. Right, so are there sort of any final points just before we sort of log things off here?
Yeah. I'm happy with tonight. I'm not as like down as I thought I would be. But yeah.
Honestly, Semi 1 broke me too much, so I'm actually just so much more relaxed with Semi 2 because like I felt much more confident about the songs I liked.
Like, I feel tonight I learnt a life lesson of what goes around comes around. And if I'm going to make fun of Rory for a year for his taste, and then in the moment where I just get the ultimate burn, and then they don't qualify, and Portugal does, I've learnt today what goes around comes around.
Or
humble.
you mean karma?
No,
Like,
no. God.
Fair and Flammer didn't deserve it, but I got exactly what I deserved.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It should be fine. But yes, no. So that is pretty much the end of this stream. Thank you so much for watching. If you've been watching it, it's been an absolute joyride, I think. And yeah,
Has it been the joyride of your life?
Get in the bin, Rosie. Get in the bin. No, I mean yes, but also no. No. So what's going to happen is now we are going to live tweet the jury final and the grand final, and then we will give our overall impressions of the final in another stream. But we will be doing that on Sunday, the 23rd of May. So
We could
please
also
follow.
have split results at that point.
Yes, we'll have lots to talk about. I think it's probably for the best that we leave it till the Sunday because at least then we have stuff to analyze.
And also means you can sleep.
Sleep is for the weak, bitch. No, I think it should be fine. But yeah. So yeah, in the meantime, follow us on all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at That Your Site. We're also on Facebook, Instagram. Oh wait, I literally just said that. It's been a long night, guys.
Well, you know, I was going to go and say it as well.
Shall I say it as well? Just to we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at That Your Site.
Go follow us.
Just follow us. Also
we're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you wish to listen to us.
Under the Eurovision podcast.
Exactly. And we're also on YouTube as well, because that's what you're listening to us from. So it's great. But yeah, and also follow us on our actual site, thateurovisionsite.com. We are churning out articles at the moment. So it really means a lot if you've been looking at us or anything like that. So yes, shall we all say farewell?
Bye.
Oh wait, we need to finish recording streaming.